first thing we have to accept with changing your career is to normalize it. So it's okay, and life is there to explore. So if you have the opportunity to do it, by all means, go and investigate. We also, though, have to cut ourselves some slack, I think, because sometimes it's just not the right timing. Maybe you have other commitments. Maybe you really need to focus on what you're doing right now, and that's okay too. But often we can kind of like prototype a little bit on the side and think about those career changes. So how about you get yourself a piece of paper? Do we have paper? Let's take this. Paper. So get yourself a paper. How do I draw this? I don't know. Paper and a pen, and let's see. So how about, because the first thing about changing your career is you have to start somewhere. So often we are so paralyzed and we say, I don't have the perfect answer, so I don't know how or to what I want to change my career, so then I just stop and do nothing. And so my first recommendation is to just get started somewhere. And let's get started very simple. Let's draw, people. How are your drawing skills? Maybe I should let you draw. Oh no, I have to count too. Is this 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woohoo! 10 circles. Is this beautiful? Can you see this? 10 circles. So get a piece of paper, draw 10 circles somewhere, and then, step number 2, start writing a word or a short sentence into each circle. And it should be something that excites you. So do you know the feeling of excitement? Meaning you're happy to get out of bed in the morning, or you forget the time, or anything that brings you joy. What brings you joy? Do we have an example? Vous avez un truc que vous aimez? Un mot? Un mot? A word?
Une série TV, ça marche?
Ça c'est quoi?
Les séries à la télé? Netflix.
Oh yes! Netflix! Awesome, people. Let's write down Netflix. Who doesn't like Netflix? What else do we have? Do you have another thing that you like? Anything that excites you?
Étudier.
Yes, learning. Absolutely. Learning is awesome. What else?
Nager.
Swimming. Okay, swimming. So you see the point. So we're gonna... My handwriting really sucks. But you know what? It's very good because you never get asked to take notes in any meetings because my handwriting is so bad. So I think you get the idea. So you can decide yourself, like where on this paper you want to write your words, but don't overthink it. Just put it out there. So I mean, if we put here together now Netflix, swimming, and learning, I mean, the immediate reaction is probably lifeguard license, so saving people, Netflix, just enjoy your time, and learning. But don't overstress it. So it doesn't mean that you now have to become a movie maker or a lifeguard license, but if you have those words, you can then start looking for patterns, so you can see which things could go together. So Netflix and swimming, what could we do? Don't you want to become a movie maker?
Sous l'eau.
Yes! Oh, underwater! We're gonna be a filmmaker underwater, people. No. Okay, maybe this sounds a little bit like, too way out there, but what I'm trying to tell you is it does not mean that this is your job, but we have to look more like what excites you. So, for example, I could ask you, qu'est-ce que tu aimais pour le Netflix? Pourquoi ça c'est une chose qui te fait plaisir?
J'aime bien le scénario.
See, so there we can investigate a little bit. So scenario, so it means being creative, créativité. What else do you like about Netflix?
J'aime bien regarder les fails.
Oh, les fails. Qu'est-ce qui n'a pas marché?
Oui.
Oh, this is awesome. And this connects with learning, right? You fail and so on. Okay, this is really cool. So you see, so once you collected all the words, look for what do they maybe have in common, and ask, ideally you do this with a friend, let them ask you, well, what is it that excites you about it? Or if you want to do it yourself, just ask yourself the question. So the goal is just to dig a little deeper, so we get a better idea what do you enjoy, and then as a next step we can start like sorting out, okay, what does that now mean? So it could mean that you're going to stay in your current job and maybe just have a conversation about the things you want to change. So for example, you could go to your manager right now and you could say, You would love to do more things that are more creative, what maybe are some opportunities, or if there are opportunities coming up, that they think about you. So it could mean, how can you change your career as it is, if you maybe are limited in your decision making for the time being. You could of course also think about a different organization, or you could think about a total different career change. For you this is cool because you love learning. Vous aimez apprendre de nouvelles choses. So you could of course also think about maybe doing a free online course on something that goes in the area. So if you want to change your career, and I know you expected, I'm going to give you the one-way solution, but you see, it's very individual, and I want to make this about you. And so important is just get started, start collecting some things, notice more what excites you in a day. So you can also kind of like write like a diary book, like a timeline in a day, and what was the things you enjoyed. It might be just being with people, or being with not people, or a task or something, so you get a better idea what you want, and then how we can change it. So look for connections, and then breathe it down. But I think often people jump straight from I don't know to I need to know, and then it's just not doable, so we stop. But if you plug in these little steps in between, and this is just one technique, then it might work. So let me know if you're interested in doing more little tools like this and to get coached. So see you next time.